Graduated 5th grade, so I was home alone last night with the dog, and I thought, I'm not turning it on. It was 84 degrees upstairs.
Did you finally break down and turn it on?
Yes.
I would be so mad at you if I came home from the beach and the house was roasting.
And I was sitting there going, I can deal with this. Then I realized, no, I cannot sleep like this. I had to turn it on.
Oh my God, that is really funny. What's your temperature on the air conditioner if you have one? Hello, Facebook. Welcome to Sunrise Extra. I think we're just getting started with you guys. We've been on Instagram complaining about the
For
heat.
seconds, at least. For
Just
seconds.
for seconds.
I know, but if you're just
anything.
joining us, I feel like that story is worth repeating for the people over there, because I'm telling you, I could
Imagine
not
Drew
tolerate
sweating
it.
Sorry, you already heard
House
this.
with his
For those of you watching on Facebook, yes, my boys graduated, I guess you would say, from primary school yesterday. So they and a few other boys from the class went to the beach with some of the moms, including my wife.
Yeah.
So I'm home alone last night with just the dog, and I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not turning the air conditioner on.
You're a frugal man,
I'm always
Drew.
telling my wife, hey, do we have to have it on that high? So I said, I'm going to go without it. And at about 8:30 last night, I walk upstairs, I look at the reading, it says 84 degrees.
Oh my God.
And I laid in bed, I'm like, oh gosh, I can't fall asleep like this. So I turned it on.
And did she have words for you? Mia have words for you?
They went to the
not
beach
there.
overnight.
Oh, they spent the night.
They spent the night.
Okay,
Sorry, I
I
wasn't
see.
clear about
Okay,
that.
got
I
it,
was
got it,
home
got it.
alone all night
I would not
with the
want to
dog.
walk into that house being all steamy. It's humid too.
And the dog
Now.
looked at me even. The dog was like, what are you doing? Turn the air conditioning on.
Short-haired dog. Okay, so really, our main topic is another hot one that you guys are talking about. It's the statewide ban on plastic bags that is just waiting for the governor's signature now on her desk. But the House and Senate passed it. So Portland, Salem, they have citywide bans. And kind of all over the state, there's different communities or counties, but all the rules are different. So the state says, let's just make a blanket, set of rules for bags at checkout. So I think this is the most important part. Produce bags and meat department bags are still available. They would still be available under this ban.
One of the questions we're asking, the question we asked in our
Yes.
Sunrise Show, and we'll
It's
ask you
about
now
the
again if you're
charge.
watching on the Instagram or the Facebook or otherwise, KGW.com. The megaphone question, should shoppers in Oregon have to pay a 5-cent fee for a paper bag? Because that's the way this all spells out, that stores will have that right to charge you up to 5 cents if you want to go with a paper bag now. There will be no plastic option.
Sorry.
You will only have to either bring your own bag, I suppose, or pay for a 5-cent paper bag. And I was surprised by this. I don't know about
my
you.
gosh.
When are you going to turn that volume down, Brenda?
It's like
oh my
it's not
gosh, turn
responding
the
to me.
volume on your phone down. I was
rusty
actually
finger.
surprised that this number wasn't more skewed. Right now, 62% of our viewers saying no. I always thought it would be a much higher number. I thought more people would say no to that idea of a 5-cent fee for the paper bag.
Yeah.
But I guess the 38% that are saying yes are saying, you know what, bring your own bag. Maybe that's what they do.
See, that's what I do. And we talked about this during the show. New seasons will give you a bag credit. You can donate it. You can keep it. Winco. I mean, I walk through that line. I'm like, I have 8 bags. And
You
I
have 8 shopping bags. I need to get more.
I just put them
only
in
have
my
4.
trunk so I never forget
Right.
them.
That's a good
Otherwise, if I have to bring them out of the house, Lord knows, I probably would forget them. But they're always in my car.
Yeah, me too. I even have the, they're kind of like lingerie bags. Drew, I don't know, you don't know what that is, but they're like
Lingerie?
little
No.
mesh.
Well, explain to me what lingerie is then.
I'm not
Oh, you meant the
gonna explain.
bags.
The bags.
Got it,
like for
got it.
your washing machine. They're kind
Got
of
it.
like that, but they are for produce. You throw them in the washing machine, you can wash them, but they're mesh produce bags, and so you don't have to use the plastic ones.
That
but I
makes
have
sense.
a stockpile of old plastic bags that I use for dirty diapers, put them in the car,
So
dog
could-
poop bags, stuff
Could
like
you
that.
use those produce bags for your lingerie?
Sure.
Are they interchangeable?
Technically, I guess
Are they
you could.
interchangeable?
Well, it
I
doesn't
see
have a
what
zipper.
he really wants to talk about.
Okay. Yeah.
Plastic bag ban, back on topic.
So, but yeah, the big kind of thing is I think most people are for, let's get rid of plastic bags. I mean, we see all those horrible videos of the plastic patch in the ocean. And so that's all fine, but it's now the charging. And this doesn't require stores to charge you. It just gives them the option to charge you at least 5 cents per bag for a paper bag that you're not paying 5 cents now, at least at most stores.
What are people saying?
So we've gotten a ton of comments on this. Let me come over here and show you the easiest way. So here's our story on KGW.com. We posted this on Facebook, and it's gotten probably over 500 now. But I just like to show off this cool touch screen. It's so neat. So Frank this morning telling me if they're going to charge for paper, fine, but you need to give the consumer a 5-cent rebate for using our own bags. That's a good idea. Dan Cutter, as mayor of a small coastal town, I'm relieved the state took this issue up. We're starting to be a patchwork of regulations around plastic bags. I'm equally saddened that our own coastal senators fell back on the styrofoam legislation. That was another piece of this that got voted down for like restaurants and stuff to give you, take-home bags with styrofoam. The coast of all places see the effect of these non-biodegradable containers. Brandon says whatever it takes to force change on this critical environmental issue, a statewide ban is much better than the patchwork of city and counties. Leland, I like this one. If you're going to ban plastic, ban it all, every last piece of it. Ultimately, people are lazy, and if given a choice, will use single-use over reusable. So I know Rod has joined the conversation now.
Hi.
So again, this new bill, it's not law yet, gives the ability for stores to charge at least 5 cents per bag. It doesn't mean every store is going to, but it has to kind of spell out, what's allowed in this.
But I find it curious that the state gets involved in the language of stores, their right or non-right to charge for a bag anyway. To me, that should be totally left up to the store. The store should be able to not charge. They should be able to charge 1 cent if they want to.
It is left up to the store.
Which makes me smell a rat. Maybe not today, but down the future. Why would the state care how much stores are charging?
Because I think legally,
because
if
I
they're
think maybe
making
the state
a
will end up
law
with some money in their
banning
pocket
it.
at some point. That's my worry. No, that's my worry. The state only cares about money if they can get a piece of it at some point, typically.
Sure, but I think legally, if they're imposing a ban that's now, on the books, I think they have to just spell out for liability reasons and whatever for the future, like saying you can do this or you don't have to.
I'm a private business. They've never
maybe a
dictated to me
consumer
before
would
what I
sue
charge for other
saying-
products.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to me. I think most people, in fact, I would say overwhelmingly the majority get that plastic doesn't recycle well, and it's an environmental hazard. That's been well dictated. I think most people are overwhelmingly in favor, as am I, of doing what we can to get plastic out of our daily routines. I think that's super. On the other hand, paper, such as a paper grocery bag, I think it's well documented as one of the best recyclables that we have, very easily. It's one of the things still on a shrinking list of recyclables that we're actually allowed to throw in our recycle bins.
Right.
So I don't. That further makes me question, why would I be punished for using paper?
Right.
By punished, I mean
Pay
charged.
the extra fee. While we had this debate in the studio, not much of a debate here, but there is a debate raging on our Facebook feed over this very topic. David Gillette says, in terms of charging the 5 cents for paper bags, David Gillette says, I like it. Mildred Willingham, meanwhile, says, it sucks. So you got two separate sides of the coin right there. And then as I roll down here a little bit, I wanted to get, there was two very different opinions on involving the forests. Okay, here we go. Jenny says, Jenny Hastings says, can't believe it took this long in terms of the 5 cent charge for the paper bags. She says it's crazy how fast people will remember bags. I think she means by bringing their own.
Yeah,
as soon as there is a charge for the paper.
Yeah.
She thinks it's great. She says, I also hope it boosts the timber production again. And then Paul responds to that by saying, there's lots of forests left. They plant way more trees than they harvest. We're all over the place this morning, people.
Yes,
Well, I
we
think
are.
What do I want to say? I still find just the 5 cent charge to be curious. If the 5 cent charge has the intent of giving us incentive to bring bags, I suppose that's the purpose, right? It's added incentive to bring our own bags, not to reuse, to grab anything for one single use. I suppose that's the incentive, and that's. I mean, I probably couldn't vote against that if that's the true incentive.
Yeah,
And I think
Lisa
right
says
now
no
in
charge for
Portland-
paper.
Yeah, I think in Portland, if you have to use one of their bags, I think you get charged 5 cents. I don't think it's like stores have to do it. I think there's an option for that.
But don't we want to know?
Remember, at some stores you pay.
In fact, we had a viewer comment earlier from somebody wanting to know where exactly does that 5 cents go? Clearly, the stores are not given complimentary bags to give to us. The stores have a charge to pay for these bags. They always have from day one. So Brenda surmised, probably correctly, we're assuming that the paper bags are more expensive than the plastic bags for stores to purchase.
Perhaps. But,
But, I don't
interesting,
know.
kind of piggybacking off your point, Susan Day says if they use the 5 cents for something awesome that helps people, she supports it.
Yeah. Well,
So,
it's the
I mean,
stores
maybe it's
getting the
kind of a
5 cents,
slight-
not
well,
the state.
Yeah.
We believe.
I know one person who's enjoying this.
I'm not a believer.
Who's enjoying the Sunrise Extra. Larry Menard Jr. says, I've never seen a broadcaster talk shot, but I think he means SH something else T, talk shot about the state before, and then he has a laughing sound. He's talking about you, Rod. He says he's never seen a broadcaster
Well,
talk shot
I'm a
about the
taxpayer.
state before.
I'm a taxpayer. I see money being taken
in this
and
state,
ending
you're
up
not.
Lord knows where, right?
He makes a good point. You're not
Yeah.
paying taxes in this state, Rod.
No, I am
Well, he
paying
pays
taxes.
income.
Yes,
He pays
yes.
income
I pay
tax
lots
here.
of taxes in this state.
Pays income taxes. Okay, another big, what was the other topic? Oh, yes, something that a lot of us can relate to. Hopefully a lot of you guys can relate to.
Don't take me down this hole with you. Where are you going?
No, you'll
Okay.
be on this side. And I think most people were, because it's not like super controversial at all. It's baby changing stations.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
We need more of them in men's bathrooms. John Legend, the singer and piano player, is partnering with Pampers for Father's Day, and Pampers is helping to install 5,000 more changing stations in men's bathrooms across the country. Thank
Yes. Can't we install them lower so they could be a bench
Here,
to
come on
sit
in.
on?
Let's
if
make
need be? Because sometimes you are waiting, right?
Everyone's
Do you
screwed.
find that? How old is Patrick now?
He's just past 2, and there are actually. I will say this: the number of bathrooms in the Portland area that I've gone into that have had changing tables, I'm actually. I've been impressed locally with some of the places that do that.
I see them all
didn't
the
think
time.
would. Yeah, so I guess from that perspective, locally we're doing a pretty good job. But it sounds like we could do, and we could always do a better
I mean,
job.
honestly, have you ever walked into a men's room with Patrick and go, oh man, they don't have one of those? I mean, does that happen?
I can't recall that, and it's not. It's well, frankly.
Do you not change many diapers out and about? Is
I change a lot of diapers,
Out and
but
about.
what winds up happening is we just, we're a little tired. We don't go out a whole lot with Patrick,
Yeah.
but when we do, we try to avoid at all costs having to change in a bathroom.
I do
and
it
trying
in the
to do
back
it.
hatch of the car.
Yes, we did that all the time.
Well, when you have an SUV and you got a nice
Yeah.
big wide open
Put it
spot
up.
to do it, it is the easiest
It's
spot to
free
do
from
it
the
because let's
rain.
face it, you want to be very contained when you're dealing with that mess because it's messy and it's
But I've
whatever.
had to do it on the floor of restaurants, bathrooms,
Yikes.
and
Icky.
women were walking in, other moms, and they're like, "Oh, girl, I've been there," but I'm like on the floor where all the soap and water has splattered and like above the garbage.
And
You've
Lord
got to
knows what
pass
else.
down for cute little Paloma.
You hope.
I remember, no, she
But then I'm
does.
like kneeling down on the
Yeah.
ground, and
Do you have
those
a
are
pad?
women's bathrooms. Yeah,
She doesn't put
It
That
comes
is not
in
a
the-
confident yeah.
It comes in the diaper bag.
Okay,
I mean,
okay,
it's
got it.
it's not,
Yeah.
nothing.
I remember one time I was in Macy's, and it might have even been Meyer and Frank at the time, but I was on one of the changing tables with Jaden, my daughter, and she just had a blowout.
Oh, those are the
And
worst.
ladies
so
and
I've got a screaming baby, and I've got the
While you're
diaper,
having breakfast.
and we had a super fan come in, and she went, Brenda Braxton,
Oh, and you're just
and I'm
like,
like,
not right now. Yeah.
I got to take care of this.
But back then,
it's
people
like-
weren't walking up looking to take pictures, I would imagine. That was before the days of cell phones.
I don't
and-
think you
with
want a
you.
picture of that.
Yeah, they would. At this
Nor
day
does
and age, they
Jaden,
would.
in fact. Nor does she want that circling around on social
Exactly,
media.
right?
But like I said, I don't recall when our boys were in diapers. But I do, like Rob was saying earlier, I feel like every bathroom I go into, for the most part, has one of those changing.
Quite a few of them. Like Chris mentioned that too here in Portland.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
But I
we're ahead
wonder
of
if
the
now
game.
you're out of
not-
it, you're not like looking for them, you know?
No, I'm seeing it now that I'm out of it.
Oh.
You know what I'm
I was
saying?
just thinking now that you're out of it, you're not noticing.
Unless I'm going in the wrong restroom. Maybe I'm going in the women's room and sitting on there by
That's
accident.
a different problem, yeah.
Well, I wonder if there are some counties or states that has become a code, because I could see governments going down that route and saying this is a matter of code. If you're a public place and you have a bathroom, you have to have.
You know what I
a
think
changing
also should be
station.
code is every place should have toilet seat covers.
Do those really work?
I don't know, but it mentally
I
it
put
helps
6 of them.
people.
Mentally, it helps.
Mentally,
Okay,
it helps.
maybe not
I
to,
think it
the little
does, but I
paper
wondered that
pull-out?
the other day.
not to
Does that
hijack the
really
conversation, but just can I slip this in there?
Okay.
So the Driving Me Crazy series is generally about the roads, right?
Right.
Well, I actually had somebody email me. She's a woman that's a KGW viewer said, you know what drives me crazy? There's not enough hooks in ladies' stalls to hang your purse because you don't want to put your purse down on the floor.
ground, yeah.
And I can empathize with that. I mean, you don't want to be
Yeah.
putting,
This is
Lord
going
knows
to be a
what's
new segment where people can
Agreed.
complain about
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So it goes from driving me crazy has gone from roads to just email me everything that drives
Or
you crazy. No, please don't do that.
Or
But
even
that
your
was a good one.
jacket. because then you can kind
Yeah.
of throw it over the. But honestly,
Or
in
your
today's
jacket or
world,
anything that you're
if
carrying.
I throw my jacket over the stall door, in today's world, it does cross my mind somebody could steal that.
They do that. That's
Right?
why they've put the hooks
So-
lower, so people don't reach across the top for purses specifically. You find that in airports.
But then if
right?
it's too low, your jacket hangs on the.
Yeah, it touches the ground. I didn't know we were going to go down this road, but this just made me laugh.
It just can't. It was just appropriate to
you find?
mention.
I
So
scrolled through my phone photos real quick.
You got to show
you
Jay.
did not.
No, listen.
You
This is
took a
listen.
picture of
Listen to
this?
this. This is we were in Spokane 2 weekends ago.
Yeah?
My son's had a baseball
Oh,
tournament up
dear
there, so
Lord.
we're spending 2 nights in a hotel room. I walk into the bathroom after my son is in there, and I notice he had lined the toilet paper on his own. He had lined the toilet seat on his own.
It's a little OCD.
Good for him, right?
Good for
Yeah.
him.
I walk in, I'm like, Chase.
Good for him.
I thought, but the thing weird about it was he was standing up to go to the number 1. No, I'm kidding.
you're in a hotel.
I don't know what he was doing.
Telling these stories
He knows
on
he's
it.
not a
You're in a
good shooter.
hotel bathroom.
I just thought that the boy did
Very
learn well.
careful.
Yes,
I like his style. He's clean.
got
Isn't
all
that
ends
good?
covered there. Yeah, no, it's very good. He learned from his parents. That's
He's
what
a
you
boy
gotta do.
dad.
So
Yeah,
either
that's
you have
good.
to hover or you have to cover.
Is that the rule?
It is
That's
amazing,
great.
though, if you think about all those things we do stories on, what you shouldn't touch in the airplane and all these dirty stories, germ stories, but yet, generally speaking, we all just sit down and put our rump right where someone
we
else's
don't.
rump just
I don't.
was.
No, we don't.
We don't?
We do not.
Do
Not
you?
in a public
Brenda
restaurant.
just said it. Cover or hover.
Yeah, you
Okay,
gotta hover.
all right.
Hover.
I
I
never
guess I do.
go.
This is
I slant the
TMI.
I like
rump right
that.
down. All right.
TMI.
I
Here's the
don't
new
wanna
viewer
know
voice poll
the
question.
Do you cover or hover? That's a good one.
Do you cover or hover? Do you ever put skin to seat? I say no.
Absolutely
Never, ever.
not.
Really?
No, no,
Only
You
in your
do?
own home.
And you're still alive?
Occasionally.
Still alive.
So
I
I'm
check
gonna
it,
go
see if it
occasionally.
needs to be wiped off,
Only
you know.
in your own
In
home.
what circumstance would you not cover or
No,
hover?
no, no. Okay, wait a minute.
Maybe in your own house.
Years ago, and I don't even remember where it was, we aired a story about some dude who sat on a public restroom toilet seat
Yeah.
and somebody had glued it. And he sat down. And I said at the time, what? Is that a guy
does
thing?
that?
Who would sit on a bare toilet seat?
Oh,
And
well, I was
it
going to say who puts the.
Never mind who glued the toilet seat.
would
Who
never
would ever
go
sit down on one with a bare backside?
Oh, come on.
Yes, thank you, Drew.
I'm not alone. This should be the viewer. This is our
Maybe
viewer
you gotta
poll
go and
tomorrow.
you don't have time to grab that because you really gotta go.
boy.
If we stayed on the air for
You-
4 more
there's
minutes,
always
we will
time.
not get one other person. I don't
Jay?
think one other person that would admit to putting their bare self down on a toilet seat in a public restaurant.
What does
Not
Camera
one.
Jay do?
I'll be right
you,
back.
Camera Jay, come on, fess
Can we
up.
say that?
Do you plan it or cover it or however we word that?
Director
Brian.
Director Brian said he does that too.
Yeah, he's the dirty one. Byron would have put Byron would put 30 would put
We
something
need
down on the
changing
toilet seat.
tables and we need toilet seat covers. I don't
Camera
care if they don't
Jay?
do anything.
I'm not in the conversation.
He's not, yeah, okay.
Do you do it?
Jay,
Why are you
do
out of
it.
the conversation?
Come on, Jay. Confess? That's
Jay's
a yes,
all natural,
isn't it?
dude.
Come on, I think I'm in the
all
majority
natural.
here. We're majority people.
Rob,
Jay
on,
goes in the
Rob on
woods.
Instagram says, wow, I joined the live stream at the wrong time.
Yeah, you did. I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
Oh boy, this is I like this topic
All right,
for some reason.
we've covered plastic bag bans, we've covered changing station and your potty habits. So I think that wraps it
Yeah.
for a Wednesday.
Please.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody have a wonderful day. Stay cool. Rod, how hot are we getting today?
Rebecca, you get up in
96
Eastmoreland,
would break the
McLaughlin
record of
Boulevard,
90.
9090.
96. You're getting live traffic reports as they happen on KXL. Everybody have a great day. Bye.